because I haven't got help at the moment and it's about 6 o'clock no, it's 5:30, we're going to church at 6. Well, we've got to be there at 6, so I'm in a real hurry. See how that's not quite level? You can see that that's going up. I've got to adjust my rollers at the ends for receiving and taking the timber. So I'll do that and put this on a stand. Just before I start, I've changed out of a jumper into a wind cheater. You don't ever want to wear knitted stuff. The sawdust gets all in it and it'll never come out. I'm putting on a protective stuff. It's always going to fog up. It's a real pain. It's got to be something better than this. Probably is. I just haven't spent the money on it. Sorry if you can't hear me. It's going to get noisy very quickly. I need this. This timber is 50mm wide at the moment, and I need it to be adjusted down to 40mm, and that'll dress it up and dress it up nicely. So I've set it at 45 initially for one cut, and then I'll set it at 40 for the next cut to make it thinner, and then I'll dress the sides as well. I nearly forgot something that's really vital. I nearly forgot the 2 push sticks that I used to get it through, so I don't lose my fingers like some even professional men have done. Hang on. Okay, that's a push stick. Has a little notch in it. It's just a piece of cheap wood, about the thickness of what you're going to be cutting with. Here's another one that's fairly flat for pushing on the flat surface. That's what I'm going to use. I'm going to run all the timber through at that same point, and then I'm going to go back and adjust everything. This is the fence on a Triton workbench. They're just fantastic. I can just simply adjust the knob. And do the second one on the other end. Tighten them up. Again, and I've done my adjustment. I don't even have to measure. We've got to clean up this pipe. It had a label stuck on it, and it needs to come off before we paint it. Normally I'd reach facades, but that's empty. Ian Proven, my friend who taught me how to use the Triton workbench, he taught me about this product, WD-40. He says it gets glue off anything. He didn't actually get it off immediately on the workbench when he sprayed it on, but I've tested it since, and all it needs is about 15 seconds, and it's just fantastic. Oh, actually that's pretty good, but no, it'll probably need a bit more. I should have waited, sorry. I'll come back to that and then I'll wipe it off. Sorry, what I was going to say is that one time I tried cleaning a filing cabinet that had stickers all over it. I bought it second hand. I wouldn't recommend you do that. It took me forever to clean it, wasn't worth the saving. I used eucalyptus on it, and I accidentally left the cap sitting on the top of the cupboard, the filing cabinet, and it lifts paint. I've also left, you know, the stuff you put on the back of the dog's necks to kill fleas, that's got a eucalyptus component in it. I've accidentally left one of those sitting on a lovely coffee table, a timber one. It takes the paint off and the varnish. It removes everything, just like eucalyptus does. Whereas both these two products, that's good for using on the back of a book to get the sticker off. It won't do any harm. Put it on a little bit of a tissue, wipe it off, clean as anything. This one for harder stuff, and it won't do any harm to paint. It's also great for finishing off your Triton workbench to give it a nice slip and slide, so you keep your top always clean, have no scratches on your beautiful furniture timber. This product here is an excellent primer for painting PVC. Adam knows that because he's tested it for the bows that he makes. And he's also tested this product here. It's a plastics super glue. It's the only one he's found that will actually glue PVC pipe. Adam, have you got your bows there so you can show everyone? So this is a bow that Adam makes, and he sells it for $80. And it's got a professional string on it. This one was actually painted by hand and by brush, wasn't it, Adam? And he actually has decided he wants to do it more like this other one that he's done as a demo that he's making for the Boys Brigade boys. This isn't a professional string, but it still works perfectly, doesn't it, Adam? And he only charges $70 for this because the string is simpler to make. What he finds though is that, now this was spray painted?
Yeah, without the primer.
Without the primer. If you'd used the primer, would it have stayed on better?
Yeah, the paint wouldn't come off much.
Okay. He's saying at the moment you can't put any PVC pipe down onto, what is it?
Lino.
Lino? Why? Or vinyl?
Vinyl. The paint transfers from the plastic onto the vinyl surface.
Okay. This is a first flush rain diverter. I think I called it something different the other day. We had this white for ages and then it eventually got painted. You can see there's a little tiny speck there. It was just painted with normal paint. We've always used either Bristol, Dulux, and more recently Solar Guard. Now I think this was painted before we ever used Solar Guard. It wasn't primed with anything special. Alana has painted these for me. You can see because I've moved these once, some of the paint's been scratched off very easily. They've got no primer, but it makes them cheaper to do. These are going to go along the bottom inside the plastic to hold it down and to lock it into place and to give you something, to give me something to tie onto a pole. I think that's my plan. I'll see how it works out tomorrow when I put it all together. And as I said, it's just been painted with the normal paint, Dulux in this case, that we had for the balustrading. And we'll put another coat on it later tonight. The weather has been so bad here. Friday was actually, they reckoned it was snowing in Watsonia. We think it was just hailing, but it said on the news it snowed in Watsonia. That's a suburb of Melbourne. What I forgot to film earlier is an explanation of how you choose your pipe and how you use it. So I'm having to do this after we've completed everything. You can see here, one pipe is smaller than the other. And I specifically designed that so this one would slip inside that one and I didn't have to join it, it just slips into the right spot. And on this side, I bought a pipe and I cut it in half and spread it apart and put a thinner section in the middle so that I had the length I needed. You don't have to join it in any particular way, you just put it in there.